Hello, everybody. It's Stephen here for the Idiot Quilter, and welcome to my weekly episode. It's episode 188, and it is Tuesday, October the 11th, 2022. And let's jump right into what I'm currently working on because I have a lot to show you. So here it is, if I find it. Yeah. Here it is, my ugly Christmas quilt, my ugly gnome Christmas quilt. You've seen this in various stages before. It is now completely finished. You cannot see the quilting on it. I have another picture here. Let's just see. Okay, if you look at this closely, you can see some of the quilting. I did some swirls and snowflakes on Lucy with this. However, I did not realize that when you quilt flannel, your thread sinks into the flannel, so it is almost invisible. You can sort of see it, but it doesn't stand out. Now, I used a fairly bright gold, sort of the same colors in these little lights on the back of the truck here in the gnome. And yeah, they're not showing up all that well. But that's okay because this has just been a poor choice of kits. I don't like the fabric that's in it. I don't know what possessed me to buy it. I really don't. Here's the backing. The backing's better. I suppose you could flip it over and, use the backing of it. You can sort of see the quilting on it too, but I did use a flannel backing for it, and the thread stitches just sank into it. So I guess the lesson here is, for me, use a thicker weight or a heavier weight of thread if you're going to quilt flannel. This is Tula Pink. And I think it was ironically created because it is supposed to be based on ugly Christmas sweaters. And yes, believe me, it certainly fulfills that, That's why I added the gnomes. Those weren't part of the kit. I decided to put those on myself just to break it up a little bit. And to be honest, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. One thing I'll say for it, it's very soft. I have washed it. I was hoping that when I washed it, the quilting would puff up at least, but didn't even do that. Yeah, it's an ugly quilt. Let's just face it. If I gift it to anybody, it's going to be to our niece's dog, Freddie. Doberman. Yeah, Doberman needs a new blankie. So, yeah. So that's done. Okay, moving on. Christmas socks. Yes, you saw them last week. I'm making all kinds of these Christmas socks. They're an in the hoop embroidery project. But Juju Designs by Juju, came out with some more sock designs. And so I bought 4 other designs, and this is one of them. I haven't made the other 3 yet. Got to get on with that. But this one's sort of got that Nordic look to it in the stitching that goes across. Snuck in a little bit of my, what I consider to be Christmas Canadian fabric in there as well. I like making them. You can rattle them off fairly quickly. They're not a bad size. I think they'll be great for stuffing some little gifty things in there and giving them away at Christmas time. So what else do we have here? Well, speaking of Christmas time and making things, I have 2 other things I'm making. I found a pattern for these in the hoop Keith fobs. Had to think about the words there for a minute. Keith fobs. So this is one that I've made. I don't know if I'm going to make more of them or not. I don't know if they look a little on the cheap side kind of thing. I don't know. But the other thing I'm kind of excited about are my gnome seam rippers. Now, I have looked into getting the, the more the sturdier, I guess sturdier is the word I want, seam ripper part and stiletto. You've seen them. They're very popular. They're very nice, what people make. Wood turners, they make them out of acrylic or wood. They're very colorful. They're very nice looking, and they're very expensive. I've been looking at some, and they run around $80 Canadian, and sometimes a little bit more than that, depending. Well, I looked into buying the seam ripper and stiletto that you insert into the handle, And yeah, they're not cheap either. Like $6.49 for each. So you need a seam ripper at one end, you need a stiletto at the other end, and so there's about $13 Canadian, plus, you know, making the handle for it and whole bit. Gets a little pricey if you want to mass produce these. Like I'm talking, I want to make about 10 or 12 of these, and if I was to do it by ordering those other things, that's like 130, you know, dollars and up to make 10. I did order 2 seam rippers and 2 stiletto inserts, and I think I'm going to make a special one for me and a special one for Walter. But these are the ones that I'm going to make en masse to give it to people. Now, okay, these seam rippers are not the best. I bought a package of 40 of them for like 12 bucks or something. No, I think it was about 20 bucks on Amazon. They serve the purpose. They fit into these holders that I'm making, and I glue them in. And yeah, they're not something you get 80 bucks for. Yeah, right. If you'll pay me 80 bucks for it, I'll gladly cover the postage and handling. Not a problem anywhere in the world. But yeah, no. I'm making them in different colors. And you notice I added something though to these ones. This was an idea that the actual seam ripper idea came from Cheryl, one of my subscribers. I was asking for ideas for practical prints on my 3D printers, and she mentioned these. So I did a little search, and I found a whole variety of different types of handles and the whole bit. So I thought I like the shape of this handle, and I like the size of it, the way it feels in your hand. And I thought I'd just add my own little signature touch. So I added Gus the Gnome in miniature form to this handle as well. He's won't come off. He's merged right with the handle. It all prints out in one piece. And well, they're cute. Let's just say they're a real novelty item, okay? I think they'll go in like little gift bags I'm putting together for various people who are quilters. And you know, it's just an added little novelty item. Might look cute sitting, you know, near your sewing machine, or if you have a shelf where you know, collect little sewing things, then that would work there too. It does work. It's functional. It's just they're not as nice as those ones that are, you know, made out of acrylic that are all that marbly like color and everything. But I'm having fun making them, so what the heck. And I made some Halloween napkins. Now, we went to my sister's place for dinner Sunday night. It was Thanksgiving this past weekend here in Canada. And so we were there, and I always like to take a hostess gift when I'm invited to somebody's place for dinner. So I knew my sister would get a kick out of this because she's kind of into Halloween. And so I had some Halloween fabric laying around doing nothing. So I stuck them on my serged the edges. And I found a design for making these 3D printed napkin rings that look like little pumpkins. So I gave those to her on the weekend. She seemed to really like them. I think it's nice fabric. And of course, if you look closely, little witches and wizards that are gnomes are on a couple of these as well. Okay, so this got me thinking that, you know, I should make some Christmas napkins as well. So I've made 8 Christmas napkins, 4 in red, 4 in green. In fact, they're the same pattern except just in a different colorway. And I made more napkin rings, but these are reindeer antlers. I thought they were just fun. So my plan for this is I'm going to make up 8 placemats using this fabric plus a little bit of extra and of other colors. And I'll make 4 placemats with 4 napkins, so they'll go as a set. And I think what I'll do is I'll put 2 red, 2 green in with the 4 placemats and these napkin rings, and those could become another Christmas gift for somebody as well. You might say I'm overdoing it on Christmas things. I am. In fact, I have a list of what I have made. I haven't decided who's getting what yet. Oh, that's for later. So that's what I've been up to, what I've been making. And oh yeah, I guess I can show you that other picture here. Just let me flip over to it. I got this in the mail the other day. I'd ordered it about, a week and a half ago, maybe a little less than that. And here we are. And it is a boxed bag template. And I bought this. Carolina Moore is the creator of this. She has a YouTube channel. She invents a lot of interesting things for quilters. If you remember some time ago, months ago, I showed you something else I bought that this lady had invented, which were the little on-spot magnifying glasses that you put onto your ruler so you can see the really fine measurements and things. To be honest, I really haven't used them, but I thought they were a good idea at the time, and I still do, and I should actually get them out and start using them a little bit more. But anyways, I saw this boxed bag template. She's had this out for a while, and essentially when you're making a bag with a boxed bottom to it, and you have to cut out those little corner pieces, sometimes if you're not careful, you can overcut the piece out, and then you have a hole in your bag. Well, this prevents that. There's a little V there that works in perfectly for whatever size you're going to cut. And you don't have to worry about doing that. Plus it has a rounded edge for, rounding corners, certain things you have to do that with. So it's more than just a one-off kind of template. It comes with instructions. There's videos. Carolina Moore has put YouTube videos out there about this as well. Have I used it yet? No, I have not yet used it. I just got it. But one of my projects coming up is to make a Christmas bag. And in fact, what I did was I took a whole lot of Christmas fabric, a couple of months ago, put it on Lucy and got it all quilted in anticipation of changing it and turning it into some Christmas bags. So I will be definitely using that when I get there. So, of course, I've already been talking about Halloween, so time to talk about my Halloween decor. So there's a bit of a glare on this. I went outside and took a picture, but I have a couple of past year's projects, banners, table runners, whatever you want to call them, that I hang on the door, along with some little in-the-hoop applique pieces that I did in the hoop in my embroidery machine, and I put magnets on them so they stick to the door. These are coming down, though, before Halloween, because in a couple of weeks' time, just before Halloween, these doors go. We're getting brand new doors, brand new transom over the top, brand new front windows. You've heard me talk about that before on Stephen and Walter Live. And yep, they finally gave us a date, so these will be coming down, but they're there for now. Inside, well, I didn't used to decorate for Halloween, but I certainly do now because I made lots of Halloween things, and here they are. So we made these about a year ago. Walter made the two houses on the ends. I made the one in the middle. They're all in the hoop, freestanding applique projects. Lots of fun to do. And if you saw So Chatty last week, we talked about all this extensively, so I'm not going to go into details more. I'm just showing you the pictures. Here's some more. These ones are featuring a couple of things, the pumpkin and the cauldron, which were in the hoop projects as well. And then, of course, 3D printed the other things that are here. The skull head and the cauldron now have candy in them. Yeah, shouldn't. On another table, we've got a selection of skulls and scary things. And we have some lanterns, and these you can put tea lights in, and they glow, and they look really cool at night as well. Again, these were in the hoop embroidery projects. And yeah, so that's the Halloween decor. And so you can see I've been busy either making stuff or getting stuff out to put up. And once Halloween's over, then I can start thinking about decorating for Christmas. Oh, yeah. Okay, things are going by just a little on the speedy side, aren't they? Okay, so that takes me to a little demo of a new tool that I bought. This tool is called the Wool Mat Cleaner. I'll show you what it looks like here. Oh, no, I won't show you what it looks like here. I thought I had a picture of it. I'm just leafing through here to see if I do. And I don't, but that's okay because you're going to see it in a moment. Actually, just give me a second and I'll find that picture. Okay, here's what I'm talking about. Now, this does not say wool mat cleaner. I was watching a YouTube video, and I can't remember what channel I was watching on YouTube, but they were talking about this wool mat cleaner. And I guess it's produced by, I think Gypsy is the name of the company. And they sell them at various online quilt stores for about $15-16 for one of these. And that's in American dollars, so almost 20 bucks Canadian. Actually, a little bit more than 20 bucks Canadian. So I'm thinking, well, I wonder if Amazon has them. Yes, they do. The same thing exactly, except that they call it PK Pearl 2-piece portable lint remover, pet hair remover, carpet cleaning tool, reusable double-sided fluff remover for removing dust and pet hair from clothes, curtains, blankets, sofa. Okay, basically it's a shaver. It has little teeth on it, and you drag it across whatever surface, and you kind of defuzz it. Well, it does work on a wool mat as well, but it's not worth paying that kind of money for it. This, you got two of them for $10.99 Canadian. So that's pretty good. So it does work, and I made a little video that I'm going to insert here to show you how it works.
So I recently purchased on Amazon this little tool. Now, I had seen this on another website, or actually I think it was being explained by somebody who does a quilting YouTube channel. And what this is a wool mat cleaner. Yes, you heard me right, a wool mat cleaner. So I went looking for it. Well, they wanted something like $15 or $16 for one of these on a Fat Quarter Shop, I think, had them. And that, of course, is in American dollars. So for me, that would be closer to like $20 or $21 and then shipping on top of it. So this little tool becomes quite expensive. But I did a search on Amazon and I found it. In fact, I found two of them. It was a 2-pack and they were $10.99 Canadian. And of course, because I have Prime, free shipping. So I thought I'd take a chance and see if this thing actually does what it says it's supposed to do. Now, they do not call it a wool mat cleaner on Amazon. The quilt stores do call it that. They call it a defuzzer or something like that, for carpets, for sweaters, for anything made of wool. So how does it work? Well, if you take a look at this, there are these tiny little teeth on both sides of these, and you use it like a brush or a comb. And so the idea is you drag it across your wool mat and you'll pick up crap. So let's see. I'm going to try it. This is an old wool mat. It is heavily stained. I don't know how well it's going to clean it, but let's try. So you're just supposed to go back and forth. And basically it's shaving it. Now, I think these have been around for quite a long time, but now the quilting community has got their hands on it, and they're using it for cleaning wool mats. So let's see. So look, see everything that picked up? Wow. Quite a bit here. That is a big pile of fuzz, as you can see. Well, let's get that out of our way. Now, take a look. I don't know how well this is showing up. Here's the side I just went over with this, and here's the side it didn't. And you can see this was all stained like this. It has cleaned it up a little bit. It's not perfect, but it does work. So let's do a little bit more. I can see it picking up. Basically what it's doing is it's shaving off little micro layers of the wool. So I would say that if you've got a really deeply stained wool mat, you're never going to get it back to its original color. Now, the one thing too I did notice is this mat, I haven't used this for a while, and whatever that stain was, probably from steam, it's made the mat a little tougher right in this area, thicker, I don't know. And this is actually softening it a little bit. It's not a miracle, here. But it is, you know, getting up or taking out or shaving off. It's basically shaving off that layer that's been stained. You see how much I got out of that? Put that in the garbage. I would think over time it would reduce the size of your mat. But if you're really concerned about how your mat looks, then this might be the way to go. Get a bit of a workout here doing this as well. So as I said, this is not strictly for wool mats. I guess if you have wool carpeting, you could use it on a space. I don't know if I really want to try that. You know, you got a deep stain or something, you might be able to use this. I'm not sure. I would want to be careful with that. But yeah, it did make a difference on this mat. I don't know how much of this I want to do because, as I said, I don't think I'm going to get the mat back to its original, you know, brilliance. However, if I had a major stain, it's kind of addictive. I just can't stop shaving my mat. Okay, that's enough. So yeah, there's a difference. I don't know. It's one of those things that I think I won't use very often, but I have it and it was cheap, and so there you go. So that's a wool cleaning, a wool mat cleaning tool, I guess you would call it.
Now, somebody told me if you want to clean your wool mat, you can throw it in an old pillowcase or something and put it in your washing machine. I have yet to try that. I'm a little afraid to try that, but I might. I do have a couple of extra wool mats that I don't really use, so if one of them does get a little bit destroyed in that process, it's not a big deal. But as you saw in the video, it does work to a certain extent. I don't know if it's really worth the effort with it. It may be one of those things that's going to sit in my tool of useless tools. I don't know. But anyways, the concept was interesting, but I'm really glad I didn't bother to order it from an online quilt store and paid twice as much as what I got it on Amazon. So the price that I paid for it, and for two of them, I gave one to Walter, and that's pretty good. Okay, so that takes me to a subscriber's quilt of the week, and this lovely creation comes from Catherine Anderson. This week's quilt comes from Catherine Anderson, and Catherine Anderson writes about this quilt. Hi, Stephen. I thought that I would share with you my finished trending quilt that you had a quick peek at during your last pop-up sew day. The pattern is called Trending Quilt by John at Art East Quilting Company, and it was his 2021-22 sew along. This year, his quilt along is a Wizard of Oz quilt called Sew Place Like Home. And this is really a lot of fun. This would be great in a kid's room. And as you can see, it is a wall hanging. But I just love the little animals and the piecing here that puts this all together. Now, she didn't say for sure, but I have a feeling a lot of this is probably paper pieced as well. And the quilting is really nice in the background too. It really pulls the whole thing together. So this is great. It's so much fun. And I must check out this John at Art East Quilting. I have heard about him, and I do believe he's a Canadian as well. So thank you, Catherine, for sending this picture of your beautiful wall hanging to us. Now, the YouTube channel of the week is one that is called RSIslandCrafts. This was recommended to me by a subscriber, and great looking YouTube channel. In fact, I wrote to the owner of this channel to see if I could do an interview, and I've had no word back. Now, mind you, this person does live in Florida, and I'm not sure where in Florida they live, and they may not be in a situation to answer me back because after Hurricane Ian went through, you know. So anyways, I've yet to hear from this person, so maybe I'll give it a little while and maybe I'll try again. But in the meantime, here's what I'm talking about in terms of the YouTube channel. This week's YouTube channel of the week is called RS Islands Crafts Robin. And this is a really interesting site that I just came along recently. I believe it was recommended to me by a subscriber, and it's really quite good. This is an experienced quilter sewer, and there's a lot of videos here that I think most people will find both inspiring and informative. If we just take a look at her playlist, we have unboxing videos, birdie stitches, Advent 2021, pincushion tutorials, mug rugs, tote bags, holiday projects, mitered square Afghan series. So it looks like she goes into knitting and quilting and sewing. She does a variety of crafts. She has a, oh, look, she has something called Craft and Chat #1. Well, I don't know if I had mine first or she had hers first, but that's a coincidence in titles. And she just has all kinds of videos here. So if you're looking for inspiration, if you're looking for instruction, this is the place to go. Now, I have reached out to Robin for an interview, and she's not available at this moment in time. As you can imagine, there's been some problems in Florida because that's where she's from with Hurricane Ian. And so I'm hoping in the future that we'll be able to connect and I'll be able to interview Robin. So check out RS Island Crafts. So that takes me to the pattern on my vision board for this week. And this one is a freebie pattern. And I heard Laura Koya on So Very Easy talking about this. It's called Always Chasing Rainbows. It's by Benartex Studios, free pattern. And she actually was talking about how you could take this pattern and adapt it so you could use 5-inch squares with this instead of using yardage. And that appealed to me because I have a ton of charm packs and I need to use them up. So here's my little explanation about this pattern. This week's pattern for my vision board is called Always Chasing Rainbows, and this is by Benartex, have a hard time saying that word, Studios. It is a free pattern, and the download is, or the download link is in my show notes below if you're interested in it. It's a very, very simple pattern by the looks of things, and Laura on So Very Easy did a tutorial about this particular pattern. And what she did, and what I'm going to do, is change this so you can use charm packs with it, because I think it's very charm pack friendly. Now, unlike some of the other patterns I've shown you for my vision board, which are future projects, this one I've actually already started. Because it is so simple, and I happen to have a couple of charm packs that I thought would work well with this, I've already begun it. And in a future video, I'll be showing you what that looks like. But it is very simple. It's quick to make. It's basically just a whole lot of half square triangles. Let me put this in the right way. Oops, that's not it. That's the way we want to go. And so you can see it all here. Now you could use any colors. They have a certain line that they're using for this, but of course you could use any combination that you want. And here is a picture of what the overall layout looks like when you get it all assembled. So very simple, very fast, and I think very, very pretty, especially if you pick, you know, some wonderful charm packs to do this with. So as I said, it's a free pattern. It's called Always Chasing Rainbows, and you can find the link for this free pattern in the show notes below. And unlike some of the other patterns that I have reviewed for you and called them future projects, this one I have made, and I have the top done. And here's what it looks like. It turned out pretty good. It was a really fast project because it's essentially just half square triangles. And so this is ready to go on Lucy and get quilted. So maybe later this week I will do that. I'm a little backlogged on my Lucy projects right now. I think I've got, counting that one, I think there's 3 quilts in line. 3, maybe 2. 2, I guess, just 2. Quilt. Nope, there's 3. I have 3. Yep. 3 quilts I need to quilt. So I got to get on with that. I'm starting to pile up UFOs. Don't want to do that. I don't like having UFOs. All right. So that takes me to usually the Idiot Quilter Presents an interview. And this week I don't have any. I have some feelers out, but I'm not getting many people respond to me. I think sometimes when I send out a request, I think they think I'm a nut job, especially if I have to put my request in their comment section to one of their videos. One, they might not see that comment. That's a possibility. Or two, they might think I'm not legit, that maybe I'm trying to sell something. I try to explain that I'm not, uh, that kind of thing. If they have an email address, if I can find it, then I send them a more detailed explanation of what it is I'm after, and link them up to some examples of interviews I've done in the past. But some people are maybe just too busy, or they just don't want to be on camera in that way, or whatever. So I am without any more interviews. So again, I'm looking for suggestions. Remember my criterion. I don't want huge names. I don't want the Jenny Dones and the Donna Jordans and the Angela Walters of the world, because we all know all about them. I want, those people, preferably ones that have a YouTube channel. Preferably ones that have a YouTube channel that's kind of just starting out or is kind of small, because I think that by interviewing these people, it really helps their YouTube channel to grow. And I'm all about supporting other creators on here. So if you have any suggestions and you have contact information, that would be excellent. Let me know and I'll explore the idea further and see what I can come up with. Okay, let's turn over the page, shall we? Yes, we will. Okay, so that takes me then to online fabric store, and this week's store is called Paisley's Quilt Shop. This week's online quilt store is called Paisley's Quilt Shop, and it's located in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And this is one I have never been to this one, but it's on the list of ones to take a look at. So let's check out their website, shall we? So they tell you up front that their storefront is open from Tuesday to Saturday from 10 o'clock to 5 p.m. They have curbside pickup is available, and shipping is available through Canada Post. So that's good to know. They have some pictures here of some of their fabrics. They carry Moda, and they carry Free Spirit, and they have Christmas fabrics and Candy Isle. So these are some of the fabrics that they deal with. So let's jump right into their fabrics, and they have them listed by collection, by color, Free Spirit, Block in the Month, quilt top kits, panels, pre-cuts, flannel, batting, and 108-inch backing. So let's go by collection, because I guess that's what we have to do. And here they have some wonderful pictures of what the collections may look like. So let's pick one that's fairly common. Now, they look like they have lines of fabric that I have not seen on other online stores. That's not saying they don't exist on other online stores. I just haven't seen them there. So I am not familiar with many of these. Okay, there's Holiday Fabrics by Hoffman. What I'm looking for is one where I can get an idea of their price range. Um, well, let's pop over here to what I saw before, Hoffman, Holiday and Christmas. And they have them all laid out. They're 44 inches wide, which is pretty much the standard. And it doesn't say whether they sell it by the meter or by the yard. Now, their prices here say $9.70, so I imagine that's a half meter or half yard, which would put them at just over $19 a meter, which is, about the average price now. So let's just pop on one of these and see. Yes, that's a half meter, and it is in meters. So that's good to know. Okay, so that's the price for holiday ones, and I would suspect that holiday fabrics might be slightly more a meter. So let's just pick something else. Let's go by color. And I don't know if I really like this interface for finding things. But this isn't bad if it's by color. So let's just drop into one of the colors. 880. 970. Okay, so 880 would make it in a meter, what, 16, 17, 60? 1760. So 1760 to $20, $21 a meter is their price on fabrics, depending on what you pick. The one thing I do find relatively unique is that their fabric collections are a little different from those I have seen before. They do have pre-cuts, so let's check out their pre-cuts. And yeah, they have quite a few to pick from. Prices are standard. Yeah, actually, they have a lot of pre-cuts to choose from. Again, these are all from lines that I have not seen very readily on other sites. And let's check out their batting. And they have Appliquick. They have Hobbs. It's sold by, I imagine that's a half meter. Yes, 11.75 a half meter for Hobbs, which, let's see, that's almost $24 a meter. About average price, I would say. They do have soft and stable. They have interfacing. So again, not a bad selection of that kind of thing here as well. Let's check out what they have for selection in their wide back fabrics, because I'm always looking at wide back. And again, it's these very interesting lines. These are very elegant looking fabrics. Not a lot to choose from, but if you're into that kind of style, like I could see myself using something like this. And it's $18.20 a half meter, so $36.40. That's a little bit pricier than what I'm used to paying for it. But wide back is expensive no matter where you go. So they also have notions, antique-like notions. Well, that's interesting. Let's check out what are antique-like. Oh, thimbles, scissors. Well, nice items as maybe a gift kind of a thing. What else? They have biased and elastic and Velcro. They have crafting things. General crafting. Okay. What do they mean by general crafting? Okay, walnut shells, some fabric paints. Yeah, basically they're still related though to quilting and sewing. So when they say crafts, cutting tools, the usual kind of thing. So yeah, let's check out their thread. Aurifil, 80, 50, 40, 6-strand floss. They have Metler and something called YLE, nylon monofilament. Let's check out their price at Aurifil Cotton 50, because this is what I use all the time. $15.49 a spool, average price. And they seem to have quite a few colors to choose from. So that's okay. That's good as well. Organizers. Well, let's see what's under that category. Okay, Aurifil boxes, coaster holders, bobbin clamp, bobbin holders, little bits and bobs of things, baskets, boxes. Yeah, okay. Some cute little novelty items in there. Gifts. They have gift cards, accessories and jewelry. Calendars and journals, gift sets. So they have a little bit more here than just you know, quilting related products. So they do have purses and bags. And prices don't seem too bad on these bags. I'm assuming that this is the actual bag or cotton purse here they're showing. Some close-ups of it. Okay. So I wonder if they're made in-house or from someone local. Well, if you don't want to make one, you can buy one. And that price doesn't seem out of the way. I don't know for sure. So yeah, they've got lots of things. Puzzles, stationery, tableware. So they got a little bit of everything. Books and patterns. Let's check out their patterns and see what we have in selection of patterns. A lot of Bag by Annie patterns. Yeah, a lot of them. And then they do have books, William Morris, Potluck. So there's a little different type of pattern books here than what you see generally. Let's go to classes. What do they offer in classes? They have them categorized, and I am assuming if they don't have prices on these, that it's not available, I guess. Let's click on this one and see. Oh yeah, time and date to be determined. So I guess if it doesn't have a price on it, then it means it's not yet available. But they have a few classes. Not a lot to choose from, really, on that. And it looks like they have opportunities where you can come and sew in their store. Hand stitching, Monday mornings, 9:30, 12:30. It's $8.85 for that. Weird prices on some of these, just the way they end in like 85 cents, 70 cents. Quilt therapy, Monday afternoons, 1 to 5, 17.70. So I guess you come and you can work on whatever you want to work on. Yep, that's what it says here. So yeah, not a lot to choose from. They do have some free patterns. Oh, some very interesting free patterns. I may have to come back and check these out. Yeah, okay, that's kind of nice. And events. Upcoming shows. Needle Arts Fair. Okay. So what about shipping? Let's see. Search, contact, terms of service. I guess they told us right off at the beginning, didn't they, on their homepage, that they ship through Canada Post. So it would be pretty much the standard prices that Canada Post charges. So anyways, what appeals to me about this particular online store is the fabric selection. It's a little different from what I've seen before. And I do like their free pattern selection as well. Prices are pretty much in the ballpark and shipping is standard. So yeah, so if you're in the Ottawa area or you want to check out some of those more interesting fabrics, then check out Paisley's Quilt Shop. So there are links for everything I've talked about today down in my show notes to check that out. Plus there's a few other links in there. There's a link to my Sew and Craft with Me sessions, which that link is always the same. So if you copy it over to something that you refer to on a regular basis or whatever, when you're feeling lonely in your sewing room and you want some company, give a click onto that Zoom link. And if I am here also sewing away, then I'll connect with you and we can sew together. I never know when that's going to happen. I am thinking of doing putting myself out there tomorrow, Wednesday. That would be Wednesday, October the 12th. I don't have a lot of plans that day, and I got lots of sewing to do. The only problem is I have a class at 10 o'clock that morning, a Zoom class. It only runs for about an hour or less. So it would probably be, I'd probably put up the link or open up my link probably after that, whatever time that happens to be. I don't know yet. That's not a guarantee. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? I don't have a crystal ball. I can't see into it. But anyways, yeah. There's also a link to information about the Idiot Quilter Retreat and everything else that I talked about. But let's talk a little bit about the retreat, an update. The response has been overwhelming. I'm not quite full, but I'm getting there. I think I'm up to 82 or 84. I might be even up to 84. Yeah, I think I'm at 84 people who have registered. That leaves me with 8 spots left. I can handle about 92. So If you've been sitting on the fence on this, you better make up your mind quick, because it is going to fill up. Now, I will start a waiting list, as I've said before. So, because I usually anticipate about 10% of the people who register for it will be no shows or won't be able to make it. And I hope, if there is anybody out there that's already registered, if you find out that for some reason your plans have changed and you can't make it, I promise I won't hate you. But what I'd really like you to do is send me a quickie email letting me know, because then that would open up a spot if I have a waiting list for somebody else. Things are going along fine. We're only about 2 weeks away from it. I was thinking about this morning. I'm getting my dates all wrong. If today is the 11th, this weekend coming up would be what? 12, 13, 14, 15th? Yeah, the 15th. So, couple of things. If you have already registered for it, you know about this. If you have not yet sent me one picture of a favorite creation of yours, and you want to do that, and you want it to be in the slideshow during the retreat for the show and share session, then please get that to me before or by the end of this coming Monday. So by October the 16th, because I need some time to prepare the slideshow. Okay, you don't need to do a written explanation of what it is. All I need is your first and last name and that picture. That's all I need. Okay. I will be sending out, maybe later this week, the first of next week, there will be an agenda for the day showing you when different speakers are coming on and give you a little bit more details about the plans for the day. There'll be some helpful advice and recommended guidelines for, how to make this a very pleasant experience for all involved, including the moderator, who's me, and that kind of thing. Yeah. And don't forget, too, for those of you that registered already, we are having a icebreaker cocktail party Friday night. You already have the link for that. You should have the links for both the icebreaker cocktail party on the Friday night, October 21st, and for the retreat, because I sent those out in your confirmation email. If you cannot find that confirmation email, I will be, when I send out the agenda, I will have those links in the agenda as well. So it'll be there a second time. But if you have any problems, any questions whatsoever, please email me so I can help you out. Now, something you can do to help yourself out before the day of the retreat is familiarize yourself with how Zoom works. If you're using a laptop, I can help you with that, because that's what I use. If you're using an iPad, I can probably help you out with that too. Even an iPhone, I can help you out with that. But if you're on an Android device or a Google Playbook or something like that, I can't help you out, because I don't have those and I don't know how they work. However, having said that, in what I will send out later this week or next week will be a link to videos that show you how to use each one of those devices, including Android devices, with Zoom. So if you are new to Zoom or you're not very comfortable with Zoom, I highly recommend that before the day of the retreat, you review one of those videos to help you out. You can also go to their website, which is just zoom.us, and they have lots and lots of things right there that will help you out with the whole deal. Because I'll be honest, on the day of, if you're running into technical difficulties, I will try to help you, but at that point it's very difficult. You have to remember, I'm going to have 90 people on here at the same time, and there's going to be a lot of activity. So it makes it very difficult for me to, help you long distance that way. So, I guess what I'm saying is, please, for your own sake, review the help things that I send you, okay? Because they will help, okay? All right, so that's it for me today. Thank you for joining me. And so Chatty will be up next Friday. Usually goes up late in the afternoon. I have no idea what we're talking about on So Chatty. Never do until about the day before. And then, of course, Stephen and Walter live next Sunday as usual. And it will be on at the regular time This past week, we were an hour early because we had to get over to my sister's for Thanksgiving dinner, but we're back on at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this coming Sunday, usual time. Okay, I've rattled on for enough today. So go out, create something that makes you happy, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.